You probably didn't think twice about renewing your passport. It expired last month, same one you've had for years. You went online, filled out the renewal form like you always do, uploaded a photo from Walgreens, paid the fee, and moved on. You've done this before. It's always worked. Then the email comes. Application denied. You read it again because it doesn't make sense. Insufficient documentation. Nothing specific, just denied. You start wondering if you clicked the wrong box or uploaded the wrong photo. You call the passport number, sit on hold, and eventually someone tells you, almost casually, the rules changed in January. That's the part that catches you off guard. You didn't change anything. The process did, and no one told you. Starting January 2026, passport renewals work differently for travelers over 60. Same forms on the surface, but new requirements behind the scenes. If your application doesn't meet them, it doesn't get flagged for review. It just gets rejected. No warning, no chance to fix it before the clock starts running. That's why people who've been traveling for decades are suddenly stuck. Trips on hold, flights already booked, trying to figure out what they missed. The change wasn't announced on the news. It wasn't emailed to passport holders. It was buried in an update most people never see. So what actually changed, and what do you need to do now to make sure your passport gets approved and you don't get denied boarding at the airport? Let me show you the 5 new rules catching seniors off guard and exactly what you need to do to get approved. First, enhanced photo requirements with mandatory biometric specifications. Now, you're probably thinking, I've been taking passport photos at Walgreens for 30 years. What's different? Everything, if you're over 60. You've always been able to submit a passport photo taken at CVS, Walgreens, or your local post office. Simple, convenient, done in 5 minutes. That still works for travelers under 60. But if you're 60 or older, your photo now must meet enhanced biometric standards that most drugstore photo booths can't accommodate. And here's what's infuriating. They don't tell you this until after they reject your application. The new requirements mandate specific lighting ratios, exact measurements of shadow depth on your face that allow facial recognition software to map your features accurately. Your photo must be taken with professional-grade lighting equipment that eliminates shadows under your eyes, nose, and chin. Drugstore booths use basic overhead lighting that creates shadows, and those shadows cause automatic rejections when the biometric scanner processes your image. The machine doesn't care that you look perfectly clear to the human eye. It sees shadows, it rejects. And here's another one that's catching everyone: your glasses. If you wear prescription glasses, you cannot wear them in your passport photo anymore if you're over 60. The State Department claims lens glare interferes with facial recognition. Even anti-glare coated lenses get flagged. This is a complete reversal from previous rules that allowed glasses. If you've worn glasses in every passport photo since 1985, too bad, not anymore. So what do? Find a passport photo service that explicitly advertises biometric compliance for 2026 standards. Many professional photography studios and some UPS stores have upgraded their equipment. Call ahead, don't just show up, and specifically ask if their setup meets the January 2026 enhanced biometric requirements for travelers over 60. Expect to pay $50 to $100 instead of the usual $15. I know, it's frustrating, but a $75 photo is better than a denied application and a delayed trip. And remove your glasses, even if you've worn them in every previous passport photo. This alone is causing thousands of rejections because people don't know the rule changed. Second, mandatory supplemental identity verification for renewals. Okay, this is the one that's really getting people. In the past, if you were renewing a passport, you submitted your old passport as proof of identity. That was enough. You've done it before, it worked. But, starting January 2026, travelers over 60 must provide 2 additional forms of identity verification even for renewals. Your old passport alone is no longer sufficient, even though it's literally a federal identity document. The State Department requires 1 primary identity document and 1 secondary identity document. Primary documents include a certified birth certificate with a raised seal, a consular report of birth abroad, or a certificate of naturalization. Secondary documents include a current driver's license, state-issued ID, or a marriage certificate if your name changed. And here's the part that trips everyone up. Photocopies aren't accepted. Everything must be original or certified copies with raised seals. Now you might be thinking, my birth certificate is in a box somewhere in the attic from 1958.
I get it, most people don't keep these documents handy because they haven't needed them in decades, but you need them now. And if you got married and changed your name decades ago, you'll need a certified copy of your marriage certificate to prove the name change, even if you've had 3 previous passports under your married name, without issue. The logic doesn't matter. The rules are the rules. Here's what you need to do right now. Go to your state's Vital Records Office website today, not tomorrow, today. Order certified copies of your birth certificate and, if applicable, your marriage certificate or divorce decree. Get the ones with raised seals, not photocopies, not printouts, actual certified documents with that official raised seal you can feel when you run your finger over it. This takes time. Some states process these in 48 hours, others take 4 to 6 weeks. Don't wait until you're ready to apply for your passport. Start this process now. This is the single biggest cause of delays and rejections for seniors in 2026.
Number 3, proof of travel medical insurance or coverage documentation. Now, this one feels like it came out of nowhere. If you're 60 or older and applying for a passport, you must now provide proof that you have medical coverage valid for international travel. This can be private travel insurance, Medicare supplement plans that cover overseas emergencies, or a letter from your insurance provider confirming international coverage. The State Department implemented this requirement after a surge in medical emergencies involving American seniors abroad. Situations where travelers had no insurance, required hospitalization, and the U.S. government had to step in for evacuations. In 2024 alone, there were over 12,000 cases of seniors stranded abroad due to medical emergencies without adequate coverage. But here's what nobody's telling you. Most people don't realize their regular health insurance doesn't cover them internationally. Do you have Medicare? Great! Medicare does not cover healthcare costs outside the United States except in very limited circumstances. If you submit your Medicare card as proof of coverage, your application will be denied. Medicare doesn't count under the new rules. I know, it's a federal health program, but it doesn't meet the international coverage requirement. So now you have 2 options. Option 1, purchase a travel medical insurance policy that explicitly covers international emergencies. These typically cost $100 to $300 depending on your age and destination. Shop around. Prices vary wildly. Option 2, if you have a Medicare supplement plan, contact your insurance provider and request a letter on company letterhead confirming that your plan provides international medical coverage. Some Medigap plans include this. Most don't. You need to verify. Keep this letter or insurance policy documentation with your passport application documents. Without it, your application will be denied even if everything else is perfect. And yes, this requirement applies whether you're planning a 2-week European vacation or a quick trip to Canada or Mexico. Doesn't matter. International travel means you need coverage documentation. The 4th rule, updated emergency contact requirements with verification. You've always listed an emergency contact on your passport application, usually a spouse, adult child, or close relative. That hasn't changed. What's changed is that the State Department now requires verification that your emergency contact is reachable and aware they're listed. They're not just taking your word for it anymore. When you submit your passport application, the emergency contact you list will receive an automated email or text message asking them to confirm their contact information and acknowledge that they've agreed to serve as your emergency contact. They have 10 days to respond. If they don't confirm, your application gets flagged and delayed. And if you listed an old phone number or email address, maybe your daughter's old work email or your son's disconnected cell number, the system can't reach them and your application gets rejected. Look, I know this seems excessive, but here's what you need to do before you even start your application. Call or email your emergency contact. Have an actual conversation. Tell them, I'm listing you on my passport application and you're going to receive a verification request within 24 to 48 hours. Watch for it in your email and check your spam folder. Make sure you have their current phone number and email address, not the ones from 5 years ago. Write them down. Double-check them. If they don't respond to the verification within 10 days, your whole application gets held up. It's one of those small details that can derail everything. Number 5. In-person appointment requirements for certain renewal situations. Okay, this is the most frustrating change.
Previously, if your passport expired within the last 5 years, you could renew it by mail, stick it in an envelope, send it off, done. But starting January 2026, travelers over 60 must appear in person for renewal if any of the following apply. Your passport expired more than 1 year ago, your passport was issued before you turned 50, you're renewing for the third consecutive time, or you've had a significant change in appearance due to medical conditions or aging. That last one, significant change in appearance, is causing massive confusion. The State Department defines this as anything that might prevent biometric facial recognition from matching your current face to your last passport photo. Weight gain or loss over 30 pounds, hair color change from dark to gray or vice versa, facial changes from medical treatments, even dramatic changes in hairstyle, long to short, or adding or removing facial hair for men. Now, think about your last passport photo. Was it taken 10 years ago? Have you gained or lost weight? Did your hair go gray? If the answer is yes to any of these, you probably need an in-person appointment. And here's the kicker. In-person appointments at passport acceptance facilities are booking out 8 to 12 weeks in advance in many cities right now. Check the State Department's website for passport acceptance facilities near you. These are typically post offices, libraries, or county clerk offices. Call ahead to schedule an appointment. Don't just show up. Many locations only accept passport applications by appointment now due to increased demand. Book your appointment as early as possible, ideally 2 to 3 months before you plan to travel. Bring every document with you: your old passport, certified birth certificate, secondary ID, proof of medical coverage, and 2 compliant passport photos. Missing even one document means you'll have to reschedule and start the waiting process all over. And here's the reality about timing, and this is important. Standard passport processing in 2026 is taking 10 to 13 weeks for applicants over 60, significantly longer than the 6 to 8 weeks for younger travelers. The extended timeline is due to the additional verification steps required by the new rules. Expedited processing is available for an additional $60 fee and reduces the timeline to 7 to 9 weeks, but that's still over 2 months. Let that sink in. 2 months, even with expedited processing. If you have urgent travel, a family emergency, a cruise that's leaving in less than 3 months, you can request an emergency appointment at a regional passport agency. These handle same-day or next-day passport issuance for documented emergencies. You'll need proof of international travel within 14 days, such as a flight itinerary or cruise booking, plus all required documentation. But be warned, emergency appointments are limited, hard to secure, and these agencies are only in 26 major cities. If you don't live near one, you'll have to travel there. Now this I really want you all to understand. The biggest mistake seniors are making right now is assuming the process is the same as it's always been. It's not. The rules changed, and they changed specifically for travelers over 60. If you're planning any international travel in 2026, a cruise, a trip to visit family abroad, even a weekend in Canada or Mexico, you need to start your passport process now, not 3 weeks before your trip, not even 3 months before your trip if you're cutting it close. Get your certified documents ordered today. Find a biometric compliant photo service this week. Contact your insurance provider about international coverage or purchase a travel medical policy. Verify your emergency contact information with an actual phone call. And if you think you might need an in-person appointment, book it immediately. The processing times are only going to get longer as more people realize the rules changed and the appointment backlogs build up. So, did you know about any of these changes before watching this video? Drop a comment and let me know if you've already dealt with the new requirements or if this just saved you from a denied application. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. We're covering the travel rule changes that nobody tells you about until it's too late. Share this video with other seniors in your life who might not know about these changes. The more people who understand what's required, the fewer denials we'll see. Stay ahead of it, get your documents in order, and don't let a passport denial ruin your travel plans.